Let's say you're computer shopping back in the early 2000s, specifically about 2003. You just needed a computer that you could do your word processing on, or maybe do your internet browsing or email or whatever you pretty much preferred to do on a computer that some computers that were older than this could do with little trouble. So you just go to the local Walmart of all places, and you look around their selection of computers from either Hewlett-Packard, Compaq, maybe even Dell, Acer, maybe even other manufacturers of the time that have gone defunct today that I can't place my name on, but, you know, it's Walmart. You can expect anything to show up there. But you're interested in a Compaq, obviously because of its low cost and exclusive bundled software, bloatware, and of course, low price, like I mentioned earlier. So you look at this one, you're interested, you buy it, you take it home, and this is what you got. Well, of course, being that it's 13 years later, you probably don't expect much of it today. But back then, you know, it probably would have been worth your money as long as you were worth, you know, putting more money into it, you know, as most of these Walmart computers were back in the day. This right here, folks, is a Compaq Presario S4020WM. Obviously, the WM in the model number standing for Walmart of all places, as I just mentioned in the beginning of this video. This machine, I don't know how much it would have retailed for. I didn't really do much research on this computer. Maybe we'll research it later. But all I know is that this machine came from Walmart, and it was a budget model, as of most Walmart PCs are. So, obviously, it looks pretty nice, but, you know, don't expect much out of it, I guess. I don't know what to say. In terms of feature selection, you get a CDRW drive on the front of the computer, which by 2003 standards was still usable, but it was getting rather dated rather quick, especially considering the fact that some of the software that was on this computer was recommending the use of a DVD drive or required the use of a DVD drive for certain features of the software to function, or maybe certain other features of a program to function, or even an entire program to function, you know, like DVD player. Excuse me. So, obviously, you know, it's still useful, but yeah, it's getting dated. On the front, we also get a 3.5-inch floppy diskette drive. You get Compaq Presario branding. You get a power button followed by a power light and a hard disk drive access status light. You get a couple USB ports, almost certain they're USB 1.1, and the good old-fashioned design for Microsoft Windows XP badge on the front of the case. Oddly enough, there's no badge on the front of the case describing what processor it is. Must have been when the original owners had this thing originally, they peeled it off, which is odd, but okay. Of course, on the back of the computer, you get your power supply. Can't exactly recall the wattage on top of my head, but we'll look at that when we open the side panel. You also get PS2 keyboard and mouse, 9-pin serial, LPT1 parallel port, a VGA port. Yes, most budget PCs had onboard graphics, but maybe some of the other ones had a knockout plug and an expansion card for video, but this one has onboard graphics. 4 more USB ports, a Ethernet port. It's basic 2-channel audio, so you do get a speaker out, line in, and headphones. This system is only equipped with a 56K modem in the expansion slots. This does only have 4 expansion slots in it, 1 AGP and the rest are PCI. So you also get the system number, serial number, and voltage ratings on the back of the case. Caution, powered speakers required for sound. Ooh, I love their claim there. As a matter of fact, you could probably just plug headphones into that and it'd be fine. But, you know, maybe they're right on that. I don't know. Anyways, enough of my blabbing. Let's open the side panel and take a look inside. Opening up the side panel on this computer is nothing more than a simple act of just loosening a thumb screw. And then you can basically just take off the side panel using your own 2 hands. And that's one toolless aspect of the computer that is not via, you know, really accessible via one hand. So give me just one quick little inconvenient little second here, and I'll take the side panel off. Gee whiz, I wasn't joking when I meant it was an inconvenient little toolless feature. My god. I keep forgetting how held on the side panel is on this computer. But, oh well, at least we got it open. So, I haven't taken the time to clean out this computer yet, but trust me, everything's there that I want to show you guys. We have a evil motherboard killing best tech power supply. This is the ATX 25012Z model, revision D. This is not one of the motherboard killing power supplies. I believe the ATX 25012E or something around those lines was the motherboard killing one. And if you don't know about best tech power supplies from the early 2000s to mid 2000s, they were known for having their 5-volt standby rails go up in flames, quite literally. And they would shoot 6-foot flames out the back. How convenient. And sometimes they would just take your good old motherboard with them when they blew up. Fortunately, this one has not blown up. It's not one of the motherboard killing ones, at least not yet. And excuse me. And I hope that it is not one of those motherboard killing ones, because that would be very unfortunate. Although it might be, because the system is over 13 years old, or it's going to go on 13 years old this year. So we have our processor heatsink and cooling fan, which could use a good cleaning, but it's not clogged to the point where it's not unusable. We have a heatsink here, and we have a south bridge down there. It is a VIA VT8235. I'm covering the light. Sorry about that. It's very hard to get light in this case. You can see the AGP 8X slot, as well as 3 PCI slots, one of them obviously being occupied by the modem. This has 2 DDR RAM slots. I believe the system can take up to 2 gigabytes of RAM. Currently it has 1.1 gigs in it. Kind of an odd amount, but certainly better than the original amount of memory that the system probably would have come with from Walmart, considering this machine was from 2003. So this has a kind of toolless case design. You can theoretically take these drives out by a simple matter of just taking this plastic piece here and pulling it up, and then you can slide the drive forward, but you still have to use a screwdriver to get the screws out, so it's partway toolless. So there's the CDRW drive there, there's the floppy drive, there's the original hard drive to this computer. It is a Western Digital Caviar, or is it a Protegi? or Protege, however the fuck you pronounce it. One of the two. I call them the Caviars. This is a WD400EB, I believe. I think that's the model number these things used. I have a couple of these drives, and this one is the original drive to this computer, thank goodness. And there's a surprise bonus on it when I boot it up. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. You might be expecting it, you might not be expecting it. Who knows? We'll see. We'll test your patience, young Panawa. Only problem is, it has ball bearings. And what happens to ball bearings after they're wore out? They go loud. Very, very loud. And it's no surprise to see why somebody probably would have thrown this out due to noise pollution, because holy mother of fuck, this thing's loud. It works great. The hard drive is perfectly usable and perfectly fine. It's still in great health. It's just the bearings are gone out, and they're just so loud that I don't even want to use this machine. It's just so dang loud, but it's usable, you know, if you got the patience to deal with that sort of thing. In there, you've got the power switch and LED assembly, as well as the front panel USB port board. I don't know if there would have been a higher equipped model that would have had FireWire 400 ports on it. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't, because as you can clearly see, there's a cutout right down there for a FireWire port, which is not equipped on this model. At least I would assume that would be for a FireWire port. It seems like it'd be big enough for one. I mean, if I zoom in onto it here, you can kind of see where an outline for a port would have been, and I believe that would have been for a FireWire 400 port. So, yep, it is quite dirty in the system like I mentioned before, but it's serviceable. It'll work. One interesting fact that I found weird about the computers that came from HP back in the early 2000s is that their manufacturer name was known as HPQ, which basically stands for Hewlett-Packard and Compaq. the Q obviously standing for Compaq, being at the lower end of the line, and HP being at the higher end of the line. But it's kind of weird that they called their manufacturer HPQ. Just an interesting fact there. So, with the tour of the computer out of the way, how about we say we hook it up and turn it on? Let's take a look and see just what this computer is running for software. I bet you guys can't imagine what this computer might be running. But, once again, I'll let you guys have the last joke about what's running on this thing. Oh, I can't imagine it to be Ubuntu. Anyways, that's your first hint. Coming soon to a Jordan Woolery YouTube channel near you. And quite literally, it could be coming soon. It's up to you guys. Anyways, got the dirty beast hooked up here. Got the test jig going. Also got me some throat coat. Gee, it's good to be king. Got some good stuff there. Anyways, without further ado, let's fire up Mr. Scream. Now, it's not as loud today as it usually is. It's pretty conservative. I don't want to go into the system setup, so I can show you guys around. Okay. So, since I've turned it on recently, it is got the correct date and time, and oh, I owned it. I guessed the model number correctly. It was a WD400EB. I'm good. But yeah, these drives are known for having dry bearings after like a couple years of straight use when people left these computers on continuously. So, as they warm up, they get really, really loud. And also, I was wrong about the amount of RAM in the system. It only has 512 megabytes, not 1.1 gigs. So that's plenty for the operating system that I'm about to start up. Processor is an AMD Athlon XP 2400 Plus running at 2 gigahertz with a 266 megahertz bus speed and 256 kilobytes of level 2 cache. The onboard display adapter uses 32 megs of shared RAM. However, of course, you can take advantage of the AGP slot if you'd like. So the primary video adapter you can set to onboard. I'm going to set to onboard. I don't know why it was set to PCI. They must have been using a PCI display adapter before they got rid of it. I don't know. Maybe they were logical. So, of course, you can enable legacy USB support. Turn off the LAN if you'd like. And there's the serial and parallel ports. And you can disable the onboard audio in case you have a better audio card installed. Heh, hardware is intercapitalized. That's bugging me. Anyways, the CPU temperatures, you can see the fan's doing its job quite well. It's running at 27 degrees. That's pretty reasonable. Stay off after power failure. Quick boot mode's on. Yep. All that stuff. So let's go ahead and boot it up. And in just a second, you'll see the boot screen. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you recalled it. I was going to say it was Windows XP, but you probably weren't expecting it to be the ancient version. That's right. So we're just going to go ahead and let it start up here. These Athlon XPs were not exactly the most, well known for being powerhouse computers, but they were generally rock solid, reliable, and everything. Did I set a password on this? Oh, it doesn't have my keyboard and mouse. God damn it. Every time you start... oh, excuse me. God damn it. Every time you start up something on Windows XP with a different set of mice and keyboards, you can't even use it. Oh, the mouse is already there. Jeez, that was fast. And I did not set a password. Alrighty then. It probably makes a bunch of sense. But yeah. So, here we are. As you can tell, I've pretty much customized this to the way I like it. I actually found this... Yeah, I found my USB adapter for the Wi-Fi adapter. This wallpaper actually came with... I'll install you later. It's not a real big priority. This wallpaper actually came from Microsoft Works, I believe. It was one of the sample backgrounds, I believe. Something like that. Rather nice background, actually. There's a couple more that are actually on the system that you can find, and they're actually rather nice. There's one of the ocean wave. I've saved a couple of them onto the pictures folder here. Yeah, see, this one I named Untitled. It's this guy on his surfboard. Rather nice picture. They are only, they're only like a certain 4:3 aspect ratio resolution, but that's pretty much what you'd expect from a computer like this. So anyways, we'll take a look at the XP version. We're running Windows XP Service Pack 1. As you can see, it does share the 32 megabytes of graphics memory, so you're only left with 480 megabytes, which for XP Service Pack 1 is not completely terrible. It would be better to have the full 512 megabytes on XP, just to cushion it a little bit, but it's not unusable by any means, especially if you're not over pushing the system. Speaking of which, I'm going to fix the resolution here, so that way it's at the monitor's native resolution. So the onboard graphics is an S3 Graphics Pro Savage DDR, and the reason why it gets the DDR in the name is because shared memory. That did not exactly do an auto like I wanted it to. That's why I wish all the computers had DVI ports on them. Well, you can't have everything in life, you know. So anyways, so what is there on this computer? Well, the original Compaq installation of stuff. Well, generally speaking, this is what I was talking about by saying that, there's some software on here that wants to take advantage of a DVD drive. Well, this one only has a CD drive in it, so kind of makes it difficult. But Record Now is on here. Generally speaking, that's just the Windows accessories, except for the Microsoft Interactive Training. That's provided by Compaq or HP, and the Real One players in the entertainment section as well. It's kind of weird that the Music Match jukebox is not in here either. Got a fax console in there. That's not usually included by Windows. There's a Compaq folder for things like application recovery CD-DVD creator, which I can't run the CD-DVD creator because somebody already made a set of discs. So I'm not allowed to create another set, which is kind of stupid because, what if you lose the original CDs and your hard drive goes bad? What do you do? Buy a copy of Windows Vista? I can't imagine! I'm only kidding. So Recovery Tools CD, which I believe, again, probably doesn't work because it would need a CD. Because obviously... Interesting. I might have to run that someday. I just noticed that. But anyways, there's other neat things in here like the PC Doctor, which diagnoses your system for issues. And what's strange is that Compaq relocated the remote assistance that came in early versions of XP into this folder, which is kind of strange, but it's Compaq and HP for you. And of course, support information. Yeah, I think this just contains things like system specifications, or not system specifications, excuse me, like your model number, your serial number, hardware IDs, and things like that. Cool stuff like that, I suppose. Compaq connections. This is something like, what was this? I can't remember. I haven't run it in a little while, so I can't exactly tell you at the moment, but I'm not online, so it doesn't work. Well, there goes that. We got Quicken Basic 2003, I believe. We also have Microsoft Money 2003. Of course, back in the day when banks didn't have online databases, so you had to manage it all yourself. The sound got cut off. That's funny. Oh, I don't back up now. I don't really give a shit about Money 2003. I don't have a bank account. I don't really care about it. One thing, or actually a couple things that are different from the games folder than a typical Windows XP installs. There's Kids Edge here. Whoops. There's Kids Edge, which requires an internet connection. And Game Channel comes with all these really interesting games, including a Men in Black game. I might have to try that out someday because it could be interesting. Although I can't remember if some of these require an internet connection or if they're built in. I don't know. We'll take a look at that another day. Hot Deals is, like Internet Deals, WeatherBug, Compaq software offers, my Presario club, stuff like that. There's the Realtek multi-channel sound manager, which allows you to do some pretty cool things, actually. I'll show that later, towards the end of the video or something, when I'm bored or whatever. Oh, God! The virus definitions are not up to date! Oh my gosh, the world is gonna go down if I don't update Norton 2003. Fun fact about that, actually. You can still get virus definitions, up-to-date virus definitions for Norton 2003. I shit you not. I need to show you guys that. That is completely amazing. And one of these days, I'm just half tempted to just let this thing run and download updates just to, just out of curiosity. So there's where the Music Match jukebox is. It's really nothing special. I don't even think Yahoo makes it anymore. So, yeah. Obviously, this is an old version with the Compaq theme. Speaking of the Music Match jukebox, my Dell Dimension E310 with its own factory install of Windows XP, which this one actually has Media Center Edition on it. It's the reason why I paid $36 for it. Yes, I know I'm a ripoff, but whatever. This thing had a newer version of the Music Match jukebox with the Yahoo logo on it, which is kind of funny. Although, again, I do not believe Yahoo develops the Music Match jukebox software anymore. It's probably a good thing. There's also this eMusic downloads software, which doesn't work anymore, or at least it doesn't work at the moment because I'm not connected to the internet, because I haven't installed the Wi-Fi adapter, like an idiot. There's Norton 2003 with all its random stuff. I thought about wanting to install Norton SystemWorks 2004 onto this, but I don't know if... I think it might work with XP Service Pack 1. I don't see why it wouldn't. There's the online services, which ironically, once again, they put shortcuts into this folder. Like they put Internet Explorer, MSN Explorer, and Windows Messenger into this folder when they didn't have to. There's AOL and a lot of Yahoo shortcuts that just route to Internet Explorer. And there's the Compaq Easy Internet Sign Up. I'll show you guys that because that's actually kind of interesting. You get this full screen interface that is like giving you offers from back in the days, stuff like that. So of course, if I was up on the internet, it would show me internet offers. And I had this thing connected to my internet, and it actually brought up offers. I don't know if they actually worked or not, but I'm pressing cancel and it's not doing anything. And of course, there's no dial tone because I don't have any phone lines connected to the phone jack on the modem. But it's pretty neat. Kind of still works today. And there's some repeated shortcuts from the Compaq folder, which makes no sense why they're down there. But I guess people get confused. And there's some other stuff in here like Softex, which is kind of like a password keychain sort of thing, I guess. I had never opened it. Spam Subtract, which I assume is some like spam filter thingy that hooks onto Outlook Express. Net Smarts Internet Safety, Norton Personal Firewall. It's probably Norton Online Backup and a pop-up blocker, which probably doesn't work anymore. PhotoWorks, I forget what that is. I'm not going to bother opening it. Again, they moved Outlook Express to this folder, which is kind of odd. There's the Microsoft Works Task Launcher, and there's Microsoft Works, which it's Microsoft Works 2002. So there's Microsoft Works. It's 2002, but I forget the exact version number. It's version 7. So Works 7.0. Good old Works. There's also WordPerfect 2002, which is kind of interesting. For video, they redirected the Windows Media Player shortcut, even though it's right there, and the Windows Movie Maker, as well as the Real One Player. Interestingly, Spam Subtract is in the startup folder, same with the other things, but they don't launch. I guess they just have a registry key that tells them to startup minimized, I guess. And that's really all there is to say about this computer in terms of the software on it. I mean, I really haven't put too much on here considering the fact that I could easily install the unofficial Service Pack 4, download all the latest updates, and install software on this computer, but I'd be extremely limited by the fact that this computer only has 512 megs of RAM. And running unofficial Service Pack 4 on that amount of memory is not a good idea. I mean, yeah, I could probably put back in the 1.1 gigs and I'd probably get by just fine, but even then, the Athlon XP processor just does not handle anything newer than XP Service Pack 1, so I'm not even going to try it. So, generally speaking, I'm just probably going to leave this machine as it is on Service Pack 1. It does what I need it to do, which means that I don't really use it that often. But what it does do, it does fine, so, yeah. You can tell that this hard drive is getting really annoying. But anyways, there's really not much else to say about this computer, at least, you know, to be honest, but I guess I'll show you guys that audio equalizer to show you the cool stuff that you can probably do with it. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to open up Sound Record, or yeah, Sound Record, I believe. I can't even think of the name right now. And we'll just open up the Windows XP startup sound. Oh, excuse me. So you know the good old Windows XP sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, let's say, Auditorium in there. What's the difference? Well, there's an echo. And you can also set different things, like different pitches. So if you were set like key +1, you can change the pitch slightly at the expense of quality. I usually just turn it to none, so that way it doesn't do it as bad. And you can also do it on the fly if you're sitting there like playing audio. That makes me laugh for some reason. And another thing is that they got this voice cancellation thing, which kind of mutes some frequencies, and it kind of makes it sound weird, but it actually kind of works. So it kind of like messes with your hearing. It's really funny. Like, it's really weird. Like, you can only hear it like partially in your ear, and it makes this weird listening effect that makes your ears go crazy. It's really strange. Like, it feels like you're wearing an oversized pair of headphones. They're not all the way on your face. Or not on your face, on your head. It's like a weird effect. It's kind of strange. It's interesting. I usually leave it on padded cell. It gives a nice balance between what I like and what I don't like. So, I don't know. I guess that's all there is to say about this computer. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down now. And, whatnot. So, really, I guess to summarize this video, I'd say, like, this machine probably wasn't so bad back in 2003, so long as you probably gave it a RAM upgrade from the original 128 megabytes, because that's exactly what this machine came with from the factory, was 128 megs of RAM. I kid you not, that's the original amount of RAM on this machine. You could probably look it up, and you might, you know, tell me wrong. It might have come with 256 when it came from the factory, but I saw a 128 megabyte stick in there. So I'm assuming it came with 128 megs from the factory, which on an XP computer in 2003, not exactly the smartest idea. I mean, it worked, just the computer was awful slow. It was so bad. So that's why I put in 512 megs and it runs like a dream. So anyways, there you go. There is the Compaq S4020WM. Now, question for you guys. Would you like to see the original recovery process happen? I know that Jay Wakefield or Video Sans Frontier here on YouTube likes to do that with his computers. He likes to show off the original recovery partitions and software on some of these computers. And so I thought that I would like to show it off to you guys because I think you guys would really enjoy that because it's obviously a computer video for me. And yes, don't worry, I'll make a video on this awesome thing. But for now, would you guys like to see the recovery process on this computer? I don't really have anything on this machine that is worth losing, so I could recover the original software once again. If you guys would like to do that, I don't mind. I mean, seriously, I don't mind. So post it down below in the comments if you'd like to see that. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'm going to finish up my throat coat, and I'll catch you guys around.